just knock this out while I'm in traffic and get this out of the way. Wanted to do a review on the first part of the reunion of Married at First Sight, but I am so over the season. I'm just been done. Madison and David. Here's the deal. We're not gonna get a clear picture, the truthful answer at all until maybe 5 years down the road. Then they're gonna do an interview, or one of them is gonna come out and say, you know what? We started messing around on the honeymoon. That was our first encounter. Just to be honest, we started dabbling a weekend, right? But right now, they've made a solemn promise. You see the way Madison keep looking at David every time he talks, because she's hoping in the back of her mind, please don't bitch up now. Do not be just what we practice, babe. Do what we practice. That's the look she gives him while they're sitting on that couch. Is he going to say something? But right now, and at the end of the day, I'm going to just be honest. I wish them nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? Two sneaky moms deserve each other at the end of the day, right? The relationship is going to be rocky for a while until they finally realize that they could trust each other. Until then, it's going to be rocky for a while. They could sit online and match the outfits and look happy and all that. But in the back of their minds, they both worried about each other. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way they got together. It's possible that after a few years, they might eventually trust each other. And it can grow to be a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And that would be cool, because right now they're not married, they're having sex, whatever. It would be best if they were just married and just start their family and do everything the way God would want us to, right? But I do believe that it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it's going to work. I think they both were just trauma bonding because they did not like each other's. They didn't like their own spouses, so they trauma bonded with that. And I think it was just a spur of the moment kind of thing, infatuation, lust. And I think at this point they just have to play it to the max to show us that it's real. But I'll tell you what, when all the glitz and glamours, when we're done with the reunions, when there's no possibility of a spinoff show, when they're not going to be asked to come back to give us an update, things like that, people stop checking for the Instagrams and things like that. When all of that fades, will they still be together? I don't believe so. I think a lot of it is fabricated. And so, but we're going to see. Right now, they pretending like they love each other. Hopefully, they aren't just playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see. MM and Brandon, oh my God. Look, first of all, I thought that Ikechi and MM did an amazing job. They both were mature, both expressed themselves good. Ikechi got called out by Pia. I love me some Dr. Pia, because Dr. Pia is young, she's modern, she's hip. She has no problem saying the things that the other counselors be thinking but won't say. So I like her for that. I love Dr. Pia for that. So when she called out Ikechi, and Ikechi finally just said, look, yeah, she was all the things that I want in a woman. I just didn't want them from her. So you admit you wanted those things. Everything that you wanted, she was giving you and was. Finally, you're acting like a man and you're admitting, I just didn't want those things from her. Thank you, Ikechi, for being honest for once and not putting it all on her. But either way, I thought they both did a great job of expressing themselves without the spitefulness, without the pettiness, without the whatever. They did a really good job. And shout out to David, too, just for being a man about it and just being honest and just saying, I effed up. I really did. I hope one day we can move past this, but I know I messed up and I'm just so sorry. And I do believe that he is genuinely remorseful for the way that he maneuvered in the show. I think if he could do things differently, he would wait until the show was over and then approach Madison. That would be the most honorable thing that could have happened. Oh my goodness. In walks the leech, Brandon. It was giving, my baby take care of everything, so I'm gonna just ride her coattails. Brandon is using you, mama. And I am so sorry that M reveals that she ended up having a miscarriage, and I've never gone through anything like that, but I would imagine that is probably one of the most heartbreaking things that you can ever imagine, especially in the second trimester where you're getting used to it. You're just now starting to feel the baby, maybe. Sad situation. But at the end of the day, I'm one of those type of people where I look at everything as a sign. When things happen, I kind of think, well, why would the Most High allow something like that to occur in my life? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to leave it at that. But Brandon, embarrassing. Here we go. No, baby, no. Go ahead and sit down now. Go. When you're out to dinner and your partner who thinks he's funny ain't funny, and he says something stupid and nobody laughs, and you're just like, oh, calm down, shut up now. Just shut up now. You look real stupid. You're embarrassing me. That's what it was giving. Brandon gonna ride MM's coattails, boy. Brandon wants a moment. Brandon said, this is my moment to shine. And he has taken every opportunity. He sat up there and had the audacity to ask Pastor Cal, never met, and never had a conversation, and never emailed Pastor Cal, and never talked to Pastor Cal on the phone, and never met Pastor Cal in person, but got the audacity to ask Pastor Cal, can you marry us right here, right now?
Yeah.
I'm committed to that.
I can commit to you that we'll have talks.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Experts, I need you to understand that this is the level of commitment I was looking for when you guys set me up. This was what I was looking for. This is what I'm ready to fight for. This is what I'm ready to go to war for.
Place with your own life.
And I'll die for this shit too.
Pastor Cal said, look, I don't know what you thought, and I know this is just a reality TV show, and half the time I be faking. But when it comes to upholding my duties as an ordained minister, I can't be on national TV playing with you. And Pastor Cal politely declined and said, I can't promise you that I'll marry you, but I will promise you that we gonna have a conversation behind the scenes. So basically, Pastor Cal said, no. We gonna have to do a lot of counseling behind the scenes to see if you guys are even right. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny. Pastor Cal was like, bruh, I don't even know you. Bruh, I don't. Pastor Cal was like, I don't even know you. We're gonna have to have a conversation. So I'm glad that Pastor Cal didn't give in to that, because oh my God. Catchy leaves. Brandon, in walks Brandon, laughing, making jokes, light of the whole thing. He was like, I just won the bet. And it's like, that's not the way that you introduce yourself to these professionals. The entrance was just, Brandon ain't got no home train and come in. But then you got who is a medical professional. Her parents are foreigners. They hold themselves to a certain regard. So for her to go to Brandon like that, and Brandon don't fit in. All Brandon got is looks at this. I'm so sorry. At this point, all Brandon got is looks, and he might have some good deed. But other than that, I'm not seeing that. He does not fit in with her aesthetic. And I'm not saying that you can have somebody from the hood and somebody from the burbs that can't get together. Of course, they can get together. But the thing is, that person from the hood knows how to behave and act around certain people in certain times. And he ain't got the memo yet. Come on, Brandon. Woo! He's using you, baby. Look at everything as a sign, baby. If you listen, let me stop. Anyways, that was my review for the reunion. I'm trying to think if anything else happened. Is it me, or did Carla's eyes get light green on the reunion part 2, or have they always been green? I don't remember Carla's eyes being that color before. So I was thoroughly confused, and I don't feel like going back watching any other episodes to see, but and maybe it's just the eye makeup that kind of brings out the green in her eyes, but I've never noticed her eyes. Even Juan mentioned her eyes, and I was like, I don't ever remember her eyes, and I don't ever remember him or anybody else mentioning her eyes. So that was interesting. Let me see what else. David and Michelle come out, they hash it out again. Never gonna get the truth, never gonna get the answer. Who else? Camille and Thomas, blah. But that was it. Thank goodness this is over. Unless something else crazy about any of the couples comes out, you won't be hearing me talk again about Married at First Sight this season. I probably will not be reviewing this show again unless the commercials for it are just jaw-dropping. I probably won't even watch it or review the next season, just to be honest. This was crazy boring besides the infidelity stuff. Other than that, snooze, man.